Hi, I'm your host, Sal Mercogliano. Welcome to this special edition of What's Going On with Shipping. So, news broke today, this is January 11th, that a major cruise line has filed for bankruptcy. Not one of the big three, but a significant one nevertheless. So, let's take a quick look at this story. So, it is Dream Cruise Line, which is the subject of the bankruptcy under a corporation called Genting Hong Kong. So this is the story on GCaptain, a Bloomberg story talking about a Hong Kong cruise line files for insolvency. Genting Hong Kong, the troubled cruise operator controlled by Malaysian tycoon Lim Kok Thay, warned Tuesday of more defaults due to the insolvency of its German shipbuilding subsidiary. This follows on a story that was in the day before this. This is Mike Schuller's story from January 10th. Cruise shipbuilder MV Werften files for bankruptcy in Germany. German cruise shipbuilder MV Werften filed for bankruptcy on Monday, leaving the fate of the shipyard and its 2,000 employees uncertain, according to reports. This shipbuilding company, which I'll talk about in a second, is located in Rostock in Germany, and they're building two new vessels for Genting Hong Kong. These are the two vessels of the global class, the Global Dream, and a yet to be named vessel, which we will talk about here in a second. This bankruptcy is obviously significant for a variety of reasons. Go back to the original story here. The cruise line operator's financial health rapidly deteriorated after the COVID-19 pandemic prompted a string of restrictions that have led to restructuring and insolvencies at travel industry companies around the world. Genting Hong Kong halted debt payments to creditors totaling $3.4 billion in August 2020, and was in default of that amount as of December 31 that year. The firm, which has offered sea actions amid a global cruise to nowhere trend, reported a record loss of $1.7 billion last May. So let's first put Dream Cruises into context. This is Cruise Market Watch. Cruise Market Watch is a great website. It tracks all elements of the cruise industry. And one of the things they track is the market share. Kind of zoom this in here a little bit for you. And one of the things you see here is a listing of the market share of the different cruise lines. So one of the things you should notice is it's dominated by three big companies. Carnival, which owns a series of brands, AIDA, which is a German brand, Carnival, Costa Cruise, which is European, Cunard, Holland America, P&O Cruises Australia, Princess, and Seabourn. All told, Carnival controls 42% of the passenger capacity and 31% of the revenue in 2021. Royal Caribbean has Azamara, Celebrity, Royal Caribbean, and Silversea. They control 23.6% of the passenger trade, 21.2% of the revenue. And then there's Norwegian, which controls both Norwegian, Oceania Cruises, and Regent Seven Seas, 9.5% of the passengers, 12.6% of the revenue. So if you just simply look at passengers, you're talking about over 70% is being controlled by those three, almost 75%. I got dinged in my math the other day. I apologize. I'm a historian and mariner, not a mathematician. The rest of that element, the other 24 and something percent right here, 24.9%, is controlled by a variety of different cruise lines. MSC Cruise is the next biggest at 10.2%. But you'll see right here that when you start looking at the next significant ones, you have down here TUI Cruises, which is a German cruise line. You have Disney at 2.2%, but right here, Dream Cruises is the one in question right here. Capacity of 264,000 passengers, 1.9%, 3% of the revenue. And this is the cruise line that has now declared bankruptcy. If you go to the exchange, the global markets exchange right here, the market index, this is Genting Hong Kong right here. We'll pull it up here for the 10-year average you see right there. That's it. Now, this company is a really interesting company for a variety of reasons. It's headquartered in Hong Kong. It's on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange, part of the Genting Group. Again, its chairman, Lim Kok Tae, is from Malaysia, Malaysian millionaire. He's been the major chairman, majority stockholder with 69% ownership. Beyond Dream Cruises, he controls Star Cruises, Crystal Cruises, a series of resorts. And this company particularly has come in from a long chain of development. Genting's Star Cruises, which is again one of the subsidiaries, was bought by Norwegian Star Cruises back in 2007. Later on, there was an IPO on it, and that reduced Star Cruises' ownership quite a bit. Genting, in turn, purchased other cruise lines. They purchased Crystal Cruise Lines. They were a majority stakeholder in the German shipyard Lloyd Werft. And in May of 2016, Genting purchased the remaining 30% of Lloyd Werft and created them into, basically combined them with some other yards and created MV Werften. This is that major shipyard in Rostock. So we go on here in October of 2016, Genting Hong Kong was sold and bought by Lim Kok Tae's family-owned unit, Golden Hope Limited. This is part of a family business exercise that he was involved with. And we've seen him enter onto the Hong Kong Stock Exchange here. But from the very beginning here, because of COVID-19, Dream Cruises have suffered immensely from this. Now, all cruise lines have done this. We've seen every cruise line across the board suffer from this. The three big ones, Carnival, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, have sold stock. They've leveraged their vessels. Everybody expected the cruise industry to do nothing but expand. If you look at the 2019 reports prior to 2020, everybody was predicting growth. They were talking about building the fleet from over 400 large cruise ships to 520 something within a span of a very small years. The order book has been absolutely full. And now Genting finds himself in this position. They operate 3 vessels out there. This is the Genting Dream. She is currently off Hong Kong right now. This is Cruise Mapper. Cruise Mapper tracks all cruise ships. It's kind of the marine traffic for just the cruise industry. The World Dream, which, there you go, World Dream right there. She is right now on one of these cruises to nowhere out of Singapore. She is slated to get back here into Singapore tomorrow. So obviously the bankruptcy of the cruise line creates some issues with the ship being out at sea. And then there's the Explorer Dream. She's sitting off Taiwan right now, off the northern coast there of Taiwan in port. And then, as I mentioned to you before, they were building 2 vessels, which are not yet complete in Germany. So what happens to these vessels, we don't know. There is a glut right now in cruise ships. We've seen the scrapping of cruise ships nonstop. A lot of the older designs, these vessels, some of them are newer than others. One is built in 1999. Others were built more recently. The newest of the vessels, the Genting Dream and the World Dream, were built in 2016, 2017. The Explorer Dream back in 1999. Plans were for Global Dream to enter service last year. She hasn't yet, obviously because of COVID. And then the plans were for her sister ship to enter service this year. So this is not surprising to see happen. We're going to see a lot of the smaller cruise lines suffer this, who don't have the ability to draw upon reserves and the collateral of a large fleet like Carnival, Royal Caribbean, and Norwegian. So it'll be interesting to see. This is a big shakeout we're going to be seeing in the cruise ship industry. And this is going to get magnified by Omicron causing the cancellations in further sailings. So we'll have to keep an eye on the health of the cruise ship industry. So for a quick update, this is Sal. Be sure to subscribe, hit the bell so you'll be alerted about new videos. Give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, share it across social media. And if you get a chance, please contribute to the Patreon page. It assists me in keeping this channel up and running. If you didn't catch it, I was on Freightwaves Now today on Freightwaves TV. You can catch a rebroadcast of that later today, and also go back into their video archive to find it. And be sure to go back and check the Monday episode of What the Ship, the biggest recap in the 5 big maritime stories for this week of January, the second week in January of 2022. Till our next broadcast, Sal signing off.